Welcome back to round 2 of a legacy event here at General Games. We're coming into our feature match with Jesse Dent on Death and Taxes up against Graham King on Jund.
Yes.
Legacy Jund. So this is going to be an exciting, fast-paced matchup, I'm sure.
Yes.
What are your opinions on it?
It's a legacy staple. Look, there's going to be some big punches. Big cards, value creatures.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Graham King. It's Stephen Mead. Graham King's on table 2.
Oh, Stephen Mead. Sorry, mate.
Yep.
So Stephen's running Jund.
Yep. So Jund versus Death and Taxes. Look, this is going to be a slogfest. It's going to be big creatures, big spells, lots of value. Should be some play back and forth, I imagine.
Yep.
Death and Taxes is inherently a bunch of answers. Jund is a bunch of threats.
Yep.
It'll be interesting.
Yep.
so that's what I got.
So Stephen going down to 6 here.
Yep.
Not happy with his grip. I think Jesse has kept his 7.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Keeping it hidden from us at the moment. Appreciate it, man. So the legacy iteration of Jund is very similar to the modern staple. However, it runs, I suppose, not much different, really.
Not a huge amount different. Gets access to obviously gets access to just a little bit more choice of cards.
Yep.
Which, Actually, what is the main difference? I can't even think off the top of my head what the main cards are that are different between the legacy and the...
That one's different. Tiger's different.
Oh, obviously the mana base goes without saying.
So we see a handshake there for good luck, good sports, and we're seeing a turn 1 8th of Hour from Jesse Dent. That's exactly what you want to see as D&T.
No, Jay just pointing out, it is the Bloodbraid Elf is the main one.
Yeah.
Because, that card's good.
Unbanned, Bloodbraid, and Modern.
So good,
free my boy.
Good start for the Death and Taxes player there.
Yep.
With the... it's going to get Abrupt
There
Decay.
we go. Perfect.
Well, fair start now.
Yep.
So Rashad and Port coming down there into a Thalia.
Not hugely relevant against Stephen, but it is, good for increasing the cost of a Bolt or a Thought Seize.
And it's a body. It's a 2/1 first strike.
Yeah.
It's not nothing.
There we go. Pays 2, bolts it, and Wasteland on the port.
Jund Jund basically there's number 2. Jund basically demonstrating what Jund does. It plays value cards that do good things.
Yeah, man. Jund Circuit has disruption, it has answers, and it has threats. It's just a solid,
it's good
mid-range deck.
It's good at what it does it well.
So looking at Jesse's hand, the minute I say hand, he hides it. He's looking at a Recruiter there, a Swords to Plowshares, a Bolt in his second Thalia as well.
Yep.
And a Caracas as well.
So the Caracas comes down.
Is that Thalia number 3?
Thalia number 3.
You got Bolt number 3?
Thalia number 3.
All right, Grimflayer is an answer to Thalia. Looking like instant land and not at Delirium just yet.
Yeah, not quite Delirium. So that is a Flicker Wisp. Jesse's hand. So we've got a Delirium track down the bottom there. So Delirium is currently 2. So in Stephen's hand, got some all-star creatures there. Huntmaster of the Fells, Deathrite Shaman. Don't know the other card, but that's an Abrupt Decay.
Yeah.
The all-stars of Magic right there. Like that's just everything you want to be doing.
Just 75 good cards.
That's just everything you want to be doing in Magic. So
we saw in that last turn Jesse playing the Flicker Wisp and untapping the Caracas essentially.
Yep.
Just as insurance, it's just there for a body.
Yeah.
But now we're seeing...
Interesting he didn't want to hold on to it to protect...
Remind me if I'm wrong, this is Palace Jailer?
Palace Jailer, I do believe. Yeah, one of the newer from one of the more recent sets.
Yeah, I believe it exiles and makes you the Monarch. But we might have to get some confirmation. On that one.
Actually, I'll quickly take a look at the Oracle text here.
Yeah, appreciate it.
do believe, Palace Jailer. So let's have a quick check over the Oracle text here.
There we go. There's the Monarch token.
Yep. Yep. So it is a 2/2 for 4.
Yep.
When Palace Jailer enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch.
Yep.
When Palace Jailer enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until opponent becomes the Monarch. So it is basically another variant of the many white on-enter exile.
Yeah, the Fiend Hunters.
Fiend Hunters and such.
Yeah, sure.
But the difference being is, unless your opponent has a way of becoming the Monarch, it never comes back.
Cool. And does the Monarch draw you a card every turn? Is that?
Yes, you also at the end of your being the Monarch, I believe it's the end of your end step. Is it your end step? You draw a card.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in your end step, you draw a card. You
so
can
it nets you some card advantage as well.
Yeah. You can lose Monarch's status if your opponent deals creature damage directly to you. But the Death and Taxes is obviously a deck that's not super likely.
Yeah.
I mean, like the current board state's a good example of why.
Yes.
Very strong card in the deck.
Yeah, so Jesse looking quite ahead right now. I believe Steven's looking at him and a couple of lands and a Huntmaster.
Yeah, so
Jesse with
Steven's
4
got
cards on board is huge.
Steven's got some good cards, but Jesse's got the board. Yeah, look, I mean, it's rough here for Steven. I mean, also with the mum in play.
Yeah, it turns off a lot of Steven's answers.
Yeah, and Jesse's going to, obviously, Jesse now with the Monarch's going to start drawing a few more cards.
Yep.
He's in a good spot. He's in a bit of a runaway spot here. Yeah, look, Steven just immediately, like, he's not coming out of that.
He's got the Huntmaster, which takes at least 2 more turns to play. And in that time, Jesse's got the game. The hymn's not going to do anything here.
No.
It's
all on board. All right, so let's have a look at the decks.
Oh, there's the Chains.
Chains of Mistopheles. Yep. Yes. Look, so what I'm expecting to see possibly come in here. Let's have a look. I mean, you got a few options, right? Deluge probably comes in.
Yeah, sure. See Deluge. Pulse is probably fine.
Pulses might be fine.
Lily is decent because there's a lot of 1 toughness creatures in Jesse's deck.
Blood Moon might be. It depends. I don't know. Blood Moon. I'm not sure. It's an option.
It turns off the colourless lands, but it's not a huge deal against D2, I don't believe.
Yeah.
He's got Engineered Plague as well.
Yeah, Engineered Plague. Oh, that's a big one. Yeah, missed that. Yep, on human, that's a big one. Liliana, the last hope. That's the new Liliana, right?
Yeah, so it pings for a damage.
Yep.
And it can flip over some cards and reanimate something. Oh, no, it can't reanimate. It can get you something back from the grave. Not entirely sure. It is a good one, though.
Yep.
Looks like he's taking out him.
Yeah, him.
K Command's not bad here either.
Yeah, I was going to say Colligan's
Shock and Shatter is decent against stuff like Ether Vial and some of the artifact creatures.
Shock, Shatter, Reanimate. Well, not Reanimate, but what's it called?
Disentomb. Yeah.
What's it called?
It's been a while since I played Disentomb, man.
All right.
Let's take a look at how Jesse's going with his sideboarding.
Yeah, we'll take a look at Jesse's deck if we can. There we go. All right. So, what do we got?
All right. Magus of the Moon is an interesting one.
Rest, Surgical, Swords. Sword of Light and Shadow. All right. It's an interesting board. I mean, got a lot of options there, a lot of one-offs. All right, what do you reckon?
It's tough to say, man. I'm not a huge D&T player. Don't have too much experience with the deck. I suppose... Oh, man. I'm not sure at all.
It's a weird one there.
I feel like he has a fairly fine main board.
It's a pretty good main board,
There's not too much that needs to change.
Yeah.
Like, you can clearly see what his board is sort of like trying to hate for, but against another sort of fair deck like Jund, it's a little less cut and dry.
You're already, like, the Death and Taxes is already sort of keeping the fair decks in check. Like, that's kind of your role in the format.
Looks like he swapped a couple of cards out. We'll get to take a look at those in the game.
Yeah.
Looking at his main board as well, it does look like a pretty stock standard Death
Yeah,
Taxes list. A
nothing-
couple of cool ones like Spirit of the Labyrinth.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like.
Yeah. Nothing particularly amazing, like out there.
Yeah.
Was Mirror Crusader in the board, or? Oh, so he's playing a main deck Mirror Crusader, which is a very.
Oh, that's huge.
It's a house. The card is a house.
Yeah, 2 of them as well. Wow.
So it's a 2/2 double striker protection from
Black green, right?
black and green. Yeah. So basically, Jund cries.
Yeah. You can still bolt it.
Twice. Oh, no, it's a 2/2.
It's 2/2,
Yeah, 2/2.
yeah.
You can still bolt it. Sorry,
Yeah.
of course. It's a 2/2.
But Abrupt Decay and Fatal Push, if Stephen's playing it, are turned off. So Stephen's going to 6 the second time.
Stephen going down to 6. Jesse looks like he's keeping his 7. So 24 players in the room, 5 rounds, cut to top 8.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good turnout, good tournament, good prizes.
Yeah, it's always a big day down here when Legacy's running. It's just
Yeah, Legacy's great.
good time.
We've got it's always sort of a variation group of same sort of core group of players.
Yeah.
Always sort of come and go.
So Stephen's starting off with a Thoughtseize, and we see Jesse's hand includes a Mother of Runes, Mirror Crusader, Flicker Wisp, and a bunch of the lands. One of each.
That is a cool Mirror Crusader art.
Oh, no crackers.
No crack.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. I
Yeah, I
don't
didn't
know that
recognize
art.
it at first.
I don't know that
Yeah.
art. Where's that from? It's a pre-release promo.
Really?
It's a pre-release.
There you go.
That makes sense. It's cool. I mean, the set art for Mirror Crusader looks sweet as
Yeah.
well, and bloody double glaives that he's rocking there. and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It's cool.
So you can see Stephen took Mother of Runes, since
Yeah.
Mother of Runes turns off a lot of his deck.
Yeah, I think Mother of Runes there is the safe play because it's a guaranteed turn 1 play coming out of Jesse.
Yeah.
And him not having it means like Stephen might just have the bolt in hand or something to deal with it on the turn it comes. Like
In fact, I think he has 2.
yeah, but it just saves by taking it out of Jesse's hand. It just means that you've just saved yourself having to cast the spell. Base.
Interesting note in the chat. Race Linham, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, mentions that it's the only time a black spell can deal with Mirror Crusader, which is a good point.
Yes.
There is an argument there for that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so Stephen rocking the boogie board there. That is a amazing little piece of technology. The
Yeah, it's pen and paper plus.
plus. Yeah, it's like a little pocket whiteboard there. That's,
Yeah. Yeah, we use them heaps in the store for our work,
Yeah.
and we do sell them here as well if you find it useful.
There's a few kicking around in the room. They're quite good for life pads.
They're seeing Vial tick up to 2.
So Jesse did hit the turn 1 vial.
He must have drawn that off the top.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
off the top. Vial.
Good stuff.
Yep. All right.
And
so
the
immediately
port is
Wastelands
not
the
gonna
port.
stick.
No,
No.
The port is an issue. Such a value card. It's like it just seems so like on the surface. Yeah, tap a land there. Yeah.
It adds up.
It matters so much.
It's huge.
So
Alright, so we've got to go at sorcery land
Wasteland back.
creature.
All right. Wasteland this, he says.
Yeah.
Plays the basic and the Mirror Crusader. Now, the good thing... Oh, the bolt. Yep. Stephen knows what's up, man. He
Yeah.
had that was at the front of his hand.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
coming a long way.
For sure.
That's the equivalent of a windmill dunk
Yeah.
right there.
That's the awesome thing about Thoughtseize too. It's like, or any sort of like,
Yep.
dress or that sort of effect. It's like, all right, I can plan out my
Yeah,
next
the
3 turns,
information.
roughly. Wrestling asks if Stephen has red besides Deathrite Shaman.
I don't know.
I believe you mean red.
Red mana?
mana?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like red source.
Yeah, yeah.
Sources in the deck.
So yeah, he lost his.
No. He
He
did
never target this game. Yeah.
No, he Deathrite Shaman to get the red
Yeah, yeah.
then, but what he's asking, I think, is does he play any red lands?
Oh yeah. Okay. So we saw
Well-
a tiger in game 1. So he does play
Yeah,
some
okay.
red.
Yep, so he does.
I think his only red spells are Bloodbraid, Huntmaster, and Bolt.
A couple of one-offs. Yeah.
Couple of one-offs? Okay.
A couple of like one
Here we
single
go.
sources. So yeah, it
Yeah.
plays 3 bad lands, so actually playing quite a bit.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Uh,
There's Colligan's Command that was brought in as... Oh, sorry. There's one in the main as well. And a couple of red cards in the...
Yeah, so you can actually see the card, the inner circle at the top, in the top pie chart. There is actually the distribution of mana sources. So
Oh, of
actually
course.
quite a bit
Okay.
of red there. It's a fair bit of red in this deck. Actually, it's quite interesting. So once of note is the fact that he's actually playing quite a bit of red because he obviously wants access to the red early.
Yeah.
Lightning Bolt card you want to be able to cast turn 1 if you need it.
Yeah, of course.
You want to have the option to be able to cast at turn 1. So it's not a card you put in your deck because you want to be casting at turn 5, turn 6.
Yeah.
When you eventually draw into your red, you want it immediately.
Yeah.
Um,
So Flicker Wisp comes down here, exiles Deathrite Shaman, and gets bolted.
Yep.
Moving into Jesse's turn now. Got a Cavern naming human, I presume.
also Port in play, which is big,
Yes.
and that looks like he's holding. Is that another Mother of Rose?
Recruiter.
That's
and
Recruiter.
a Caracas. Yeah.
That's a Recruiter. Okay. Imperial Recruiter.
Of the Guard.
Recruiter Guard, not the Imperial. No, that's the other one. Recruiter
Alright.
Guard gets
So
another
searching
Flicker
for a
Wisp.
Flicker Wisp to do the thing, and okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Value town for Jesse.
Yep.
So he's searching for a...
Just a free creature along the way, because why not?
Yeah, of course.
No reason.
What do you
not.
search for here? I mean, if you just pretend you didn't say that.
Well, he's
He's
gonna
just going out like the Flicker Wisp
go
value
wide.
plan.
I think
yeah.
he's just going to go wide.
Yeah.
He's got the Caracas as well.
Like, he just amassed a giant board state from one
Yeah.
card against Steven's one Deathrite Shaman. So that's
Yeah.
a pretty impressive turn.
Yeah, for sure. So he got
And he gets to do it again next turn
yeah,
as well.
so you got Flicker Wisp.
Yep.
So the plan being obviously to Flicker Wisp the Recruiter again, get something else. Revoker. So that's
Revoker.
probably
Yep.
immediately points at the Deathrite Shaman. Steven's in a rough spot here.
Yeah.
Down to 1 land. Port online. Steven has access to 0 mana.
Yes.
That's a problem. You need mana to play.
Yeah. It looks like there's nothing he could have cast anyway because he would have tapped the Deathrite Shaman in response to the trigger.
He needed to hit the land there,
It's,
but he needed to hit the land there. Deathrite's going to swing.
Oh. Getting in for 1.
Oh, well, can't do anything else.
It's better than being a 1-2.
Can't do anything else. So Jesse with a demonstrating what Death and Taxes does. So that's a Sarah Avenger. So the text on that card, I'd have to actually check the exact Oracle
Yeah.
text.
So it's a classic D&T card. It's a 2-2 for, I believe, 2 white for, I believe, a 3-3 Flying Vigilance lifelink, and it can't be played on the first couple of turns of the game.
Yeah.
No lifelink, sorry.
Yeah, so this can't be played on turn 1, 2, or
It's a
3.
big dude for cheap, but
Yep.
you can't play it on curve.
Yeah, the only way to obviously the Death and Taxes can get around that with the Vial though.
Oh, of course. Yep.
Yep. But in this case, he just played it on the turn that he could have played it
Sweet.
fairly anyway, because Death and Taxes is a fair deck.
Yeah, looking rough for Steven, man. He's sitting on a Bloodbraid Elf and a K Command, both expensive spells, with access to 1 land.
No, zero land is getting Rashad and Port. It's getting ported.
Yeah,
every
of
turn.
course,
He has access
of
to 0
course.
mana. And now, like, I think he swung in with the Deathrite Shaman, which was then blocked by the... I don't know if I agree with that. He actually blocked the...
Oh, by the Revoker.
Yeah, the Revoker actually blocked... Oh, sorry, Deathrite blocking the Revoker. I don't know if I agree with that play. If I'm Jesse, I don't think you attack with the Revoker. I think you just leave it. It's better... I think Steven's making that block every day of the week, and I don't think that... I think it's...
I mean, Steven's also on 5.
I mean, yeah, but so theoretically, like best case scenario now for Steven is to go land, play the other Deathrite I had in my hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
now
that's
you're in
true.
a much better position, and Jesse hasn't gained anything
It's still not
by attacking there.
Really a position that wins in the game. He's
No,
still
not
got
at
5
all.
power in the air.
Not at all, but I'm talking about like in a game of numbers.
Yeah.
Like if you're purely looking at optimal plays, I don't think attacking with the Revoker is an optimal play.
Yeah, sure.
I see. No, you gain nothing from it, but
And there's the handshake, man. Quick one from Jesse.
it's academic because
Taking
it
it
does
out.
not matter. So Jesse taking that one out.
2-0.
2-0. So Death and Taxes, demonstrating that it is a fair deck that can deal with other fair decks.
Absolutely.
Uh,
And cool to note from that game, I don't think Jesse brought anything in.
I brought in a couple of. I think he definitely brought in a couple of cards. I think the cards he brought in more so would have been because he took out the cards that were bad.
Yeah.
Or the cards that weren't as good. Now we're going to jump over to our second table. Now this is Maverick versus Blue Red Delver. I'll have to double check if that game score is correct. Yeah, so Will actually taking out game 1. Blue Red Delver. Blue Red Delver, hey? That's a different one.
It's been popping up, man. It came in the top 4 in GP Vegas.
Yep.
And it's been showing up a bit since. It is basically a burn deck. It plays like Swift Spear.
Yep.
Storm Chaser Mage, the proest dude from Oath.
Yep.
And it plays like Fire Blast. The Sack 2 Mountains do damage, and a bunch of bolts.
So it's tempo-y aggro kind of burn.
Yeah. It's a really sweet. It's a bit faster than Grixis, but it loses the hand control parts of therapy. And,
yeah, for sure.
That sort of thing.
Graham in a good spot, it would seem here. No land in play, but it didn't matter because he has 3. Well, he's got a 3/2 flyer.
Yeah,
because that's a card. And then 2 Swift Spear. So theoretically, land something. Kill you.
Will not in a bad spot either. He's swinging in with Thalia and a 3/3 Scavenging Ooze.
Well, attacking here, leaving him dead to a land, I think. If
3, 4, 5.
Just from the prowess triggers.
Yeah, yes, it's a land spell.
Land spell, you're dead. Fades the land, though. So I don't think he's going to do anything here. He's got a Dryad Arbor, so he could block if he needed to.
Yes.
Choosing not to.
Going down to 3 here.
Goes to 3.
Looks like Graham went to discard.
Yeah.
He's got a full grip.
Yeah, full grip, no lands.
Oh, wow.
I think Will realising that he's... No, so Will was on a multi-5 this game.
Okay, so Will took out the first game.
Yep, took out game 1, multi-5, game 2.
Multi-5, it's rough to get back from.
Yeah, it's hard. He's still... Look, I think he's realised correctly that he has no out if his opponent draws a bolt or if his opponent... Yeah, he's just going to attack.
Like you said, he's just got to fade the land.
Yeah.
And,
at this point, he's got to fade more than the land. He's got to deal with the 3/3 flyer and block.
Yeah.
The hand's up. The hand's already up. He didn't even need his opponent to attack. All right. So we're going to go to game 3. Now it should be stated. Will is probably the youngest player in the room.
Yeah.
He is. I'm not quite sure of his exact age, but he is quite young.
Yeah. Will's 13.
And he talks smack better than any other person I've ever heard in my life. It's going to be a good day when Will's in the room. My God, there is some serious smack laid down.
Yeah. Shout out to Will.
It's great. It is glorious.
Yeah.
You got these old experienced vets playing their legacy, and then young Will McCurdy comes in and lays down the law and tells them what's up.
Yeah.
And genuinely can walk the walk. He's
a good player. I've known Will for maybe 8 months since I started working here, and I've seen him improve drastically. And he always comes in and tests out his new decks, and he's always building something new, and experimenting, and is a really great opponent to play against, which is something so cool to see for a 13 or 14-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's some great. I'm sure there's a few anecdotes of some smack that was laid down between Will and some of the vets. It's quite amusing. It's good. It's really good to see. Just seeing young players getting into the legacy. Into the old formats.
That Maverick deck is pretty much his. He borrowed a couple of dual lands and he saved up and just built an awesome legacy deck. Yeah, and that's something that anyone can do.
Yep. I think he did the very typical thing that I think a lot of starting legacy players do. He built Burn.
Yeah.
Because it's a competitive deck.
Yeah.
And it's not super expensive.
Yeah.
Started with Burn and then worked his way out from there, and now he's ended up with this.
Yeah.
And good on him, because So it is currently 1-1.
Yes.
Graham did take the last game, so we are in game 3.
All right, looks like Will in the play He's decided to keep this, leading with Heath. I can't exactly see his full hand. Looks like he is fetching straight away.
All right. So Graham sitting on. I see a Daze. I think a Delver.
Yeah, I think Graham has a 1-land hand here. Possibly. Oh, no, there we go. He's got the Volk, he's got the Underground Sea. Whoa, hello.
So yes, there is young Will. All right.
Okay, leading off with Deathright Shaman.
Good start. Deathright Shaman off a fetch. Always fun.
Yeah, so Graham is playing Underground Sea in this list. Steve in the chat, Mavericks both the name and the game.
Yeah.
Will McCurdy, the Maverick of the room. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what kind of Black Splash Graham is playing.
Yeah.
The typical list generally just plays Volks and Wastelands. So
Yeah, interesting. Maybe some hand disruption. Maybe push.
Oh, here we go. Got Steve, must be made of Graham's, commenting in the chat that he's splashing Gurmak.
Oh, I smashed in the Gangler. Okay, cool. Yep.
Splashing for a 5/5 for 1 is pretty good.
Daze showing the power of the card right there. Countering a... Actually, what did it counter? What is that?
That's an Edict.
Edict.
Makes him sack a creature.
Yeah. I know what it is. I just didn't recognize the card.
Yeah.
All right, so Will getting, not blown out, but definitely copping it there because of the Daze. Strong card.
Graham pondering. He does see a Force Wheel there, able to flip the Delver. Can't see the other 2 cards just on this angle. Alright, so Graham has actually drawn a couple of cards and noticed one of them was upside down. So he's called the judge over just to check the orientation of his library.
Yeah, it's just a straight.
So it looks like there's no problems there. Just one card was in the wrong way.
Yeah, this is again, reminder, we're playing Comprel. So having some number of cards in your library flipped can be interpreted as a way of marking cards.
Yeah.
So Graham doing the correct thing, realizing that his deck was partially upside down, or potentially some of the cards were shuffled upside down. So just getting a judge there doing the absolute correct
anything
line.
like that ever happens, especially to yourself, call a judge straight away. If you try and cover it up, even if it's not intentional, then you're going to look worse.
Yep.
Calling and judging yourself is nothing to be ashamed of.
To quote a good friend of mine, if you're not cheating, don't look like you are.
Yeah, exactly.
It's as simple as that. If you know. There's no reason to do something that could be interpreted as cheating if you are not cheating.
That's right.
It's as simple as that. In this case, it's a minor thing, but definitely if your opponent, if your opponent notices, if you notice your opponent drawing cards and every couple of cards might be the wrong way.
Yeah.
It could mean something.
Yeah.
So anyway,
shout out to Jimbo Jones Dowling, level 2 judge of the area, down
level 2.
doing God's work on the floor.
Yeah, always.
And Graham King dropping Swift Spear, followed by a Swift Ponder, and getting in for 2.
So the flying bug was Abrupt Decade, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. So
you'll find the blue-red version of Delver is a lot more sort of like threat heavy.
Yeah.
There's lots of like little things, to replace Delver as opposed to creatures like Young Pyromancer and Deathright Shaman.
Bit more straight up reach.
Yeah.
So Graham's got a Force of Will there. Didn't see much else. Looks like, is that a Flicker Wisp at the front of? No, not a Flicker Wisp.
It's like Thalia.
Thalia.
Of
course.
Looks like possibly 2 Thalias and a Skoos.
Thalia front and back, Skoos, and maybe a Swamp. Can't quite tell.
Oh, they go Grimflayer.
Grimflayer.
Okay. So hand packed with creatures. Playing Grimflayer first.
That's probably gonna be Force of Willed, I think. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. The Will McCurdy making the right play, leaving a mana up for the days.
Yep. Yeah. So question. Yeah. So there'll be 5 rounds of Swiss, and then a cut to top 8. So 3 rounds of.
That's right.
3 rounds of the cut. So quite a bit of legacy to be had. Yeah, so in that situation, Graham, Force of Willing, realizing he doesn't have a way to deal with the Green Flare once it hits the table immediately. So just playing the tempo part of the deck there.
Yeah, for sure. Graham, on his turn, is Brainstorming, Mainstorming.
Yeah, so Mainstorm.
And triggering the Prowess off of his
Prowess,
Sphere.
I imagine, given he's probably going to go land Ponder as well.
Does he have a Ponder too?
He has a Ponder.
Oh, wow.
He had a Ponder off the Brainstorm.
Oh, cool. Bolting the Shaman.
Well, this is here's the tempo. So he did hit a Ponder. He may have put it back off Storm. I don't know. Yidget in Twitch, yeah. When we do Legacy, man, we do Legacy. There's no, when we do things, we do them. You know, it's not worth. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing well.
Yeah. All right, Deathrite Shaman is dying here. Graham cracking the fetch, shuffling away the cards he wasn't interested in with the Brainstorm.
Yep.
And we'll see if he fires off anything else before going to attacks with his big Swift Spear.
So he's currently two triggers, yeah. two triggers of prowess. Two prowess, yeah. Two prowess on the Swift Spear. Looks like make that a third.
Yeah, you're right. So I did keep the Ponder there, so he can shuffle up and then set up his library again.
So that is a 5/5 currently. Oh, sorry, a 5.
It's a 1/2 normally.
1/2,
so
so
it's a 4/2. Sorry, 5 4 plus 3 5 4/5.
4/5. So it's a 4/5.
That's right.
Swift
Yeah.
Spear.
Okay.
Yep, you are correct. So Graham.
The cool thing about this deck, so he's got a threat on board, he's making it bigger, and he's setting up his future turns at the same time.
Yep.
Which is just an efficient, way to do it. It's always started in Magic that, an aggro deck that's low to the ground and can manipulate the library is always going to do really well. That's why decks like Delver and Death Shadow are popular in their respective formats.
All right, that is a Scooze.
Yes. All right. So I think Will is tossing up between Scooze and Thalia.
So he's got a couple creatures in his bin to gain some life.
Yeah.
Gain some counters. Now Scooze is. So Will is on 14.
Interesting, man. Like, he does have Thalia in his hand. I think Scooze is a good blocker here, but is it worth playing Thalia instead to try and slow down Graham's cantripping and
he's got
spellcasting? Or does that come second after Scooze?
I think secondary. Graham's down to 2 cards or something. Graham doesn't have many cards in hand.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thalia, Thalia stops. Okay, so at the time Graham had 3 lands, so it means that he's only potentially. Realistically, it means he's probably playing one of the 2 spells he might have had in hand.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas, and assuming he hits a land, it means like he's only. He hits a land, gives him 4 mana, and he has 2 cards left in hand, which means realistically he was only ever playing. At most, he was going to play 2 anyway.
Yeah,
and Thalia probably is.
Of course.
Does nothing.
So here Scooze gets him a blocker and back into the game.
Yeah, so Scooze is...
fire blasting the Scooze. Graham recognising the threat.
Yeah, realising that's a difficult card to deal with.
Cool to see that Graham is sacking for Fire Blast.
So Graham's playing a Price of Progress in... I wonder if that's main.
Sorry?
He's playing a Price of Progress.
Yeah.
And he's going to lay it down now.
So he's sacking his own dual lands and then playing Price of Progress. That's the trick.
Yeah, so in response, I imagine he's going to fetch a basic.
Yeah.
Fetch a basic, so he'll take 2. Oh, okay, so choosing not... Graham may have, just hearing from the table, that maybe he's made a slight misplay that he actually cast it and passed priority, which means he is going to take 4.
Yeah.
Will take 6, but the... potentially doesn't have basics in the deck. So maybe correct, he's just willing to take the damage. But, that's a massive swing. That's 2 spells, both triggering prowess on the Swift Spear. So that turn was big. Scooze number 2.
Here we go. Steve in the chat with insider info says that Graham doesn't play basics, and also that his only black card is the Gomag Angler.
Okay. Yep. So Scooze coming down, exiling another Scooze from the bin. So I'm gaining some life there. Graham empty-handed, so Will in a position to potentially be able to stabilize here if he can deal with the Swift Spear. That'll do it. That's an abrupt decay.
Whoa, yeah,
that'll do it.
And Scooze is a great card to stabilize with. Like, it gains you life and gets big.
If Will does have a land in hand, Okay, I tell you. Does he have a land in hand? No, didn't have a land in hand, so it was fine. Just would have been smarter to, if you had it, to play the land first, play around any kind of tricks.
Yeah. Cool. So Scoos immediately exiling the Swift Spear that he got rid of, and then swinging in, putting Graham down to 9.
Yeah, so Steve also pointing out, without the basics, there's 0 point fetching there because it's literally just adding 1 damage to the damage he would have taken anyway because he's fetching a basic.
Yep.
He's fetching a non-basic, so he still takes, so it means he takes 5 instead of 4.
Or he can just fail to find, but that's probably bad.
Yeah, exactly. Which is saving you one damage because you still pay 1 to fetch.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's not relevant at this point. Graham's in a rough spot though. He has 1 card in hand. He's got a Delver in play, but he needs it to flip. Will's building a board, getting the life back. Scoo's getting big. Scoo's gained. Big boy.
I think Scoos single-handedly turned this game for Will.
Yep.
Letting him stabilize, like you said, is huge.
Yes, the stabilization is the big part. And
there's the handshake. Will 2-0 so far in our Legacy event here today.
Yeah.
Taking out Graham on Delver with Junk Maverick.
Yeah. He's taking it to him, man. Good on him.
So 2 awesome matches here. One won by death and taxes. One by death and taxes. Remove cousin. Oh, is he? Are we getting a dab cam?
No. Yeah. Got the dab. All right. So,
all right.
Look, that's great.
Yeah.
Well played.
2 awesome games showing off, what aggro is in Legacy. It's exciting to see. Thanks for tuning in for those ones.
Yeah, look, we'll be back. I think we don't have too much longer left in the round, so we'll be back with round 3 in about 10, 15 minutes. Stay with us, and we'll be back. Thanks, guys.
Take care.